People of Earth, my name is Colin, your name is Audience, and welcome back to this. Well, I spent the night last night editing the double vlog, episode 20, which you technically, as of this recording, have not seen yet. It's pretty good, not gonna lie, pretty good. But the reason I'm here right now, recording on a Monday, which normally I wait until like Tuesday or Wednesday to start recording, wait for the vlog before this to come out, and then record. The reason I'm here now is because we are leaving Stanton in about an hour and a half to drive up to Harrisonburg and then essentially catch a ride 6 hours south to South Carolina. I've been hyping it up all month long. I've been waiting for it, and it's finally here. And so we're gonna be there basically starting tonight, from tonight to either Saturday or Sunday, depending on how things work out with the actual tournament. So yeah, it should be, it's gonna be a long experience. I'm prepped for that. I know that it's coming, so I have prepared myself for that fact that it is going to be long, and by the end of it, I will most likely be very, very tired and kind of fed up with everything. So, but that's not going to get in the way of content. So, I'm recording this. I got a GoPro with me. I got my, Clyde, the 2000s point and shoot ready to go. SD cards, you name it, GoPro attachments. I actually realized I had a tiny little tripod that I could put the GoPro on, which is perfect. It's a tiny little Gorilla Pod, so we're going to be using that because up until now I've just been kind of setting it on things and hoping it doesn't get knocked over. But aside from that, we've got our credential, which I think we're going to need. They probably have more for us, but I vaguely remember overhearing that they wanted us to use the ones from the lacrosse tournament. So I'm packing that just in case. And then we've got enough clothes for about 5-6 days, toiletries, and we're just prepared. We're just prepared for this to be the long haul, both in driving and in working. The first game isn't actually until Wednesday, so don't be surprised if you don't see any footage from today. Actually, that's a lie. I'm gonna GoPro today a lot. But basically either tonight and tomorrow is going to be all day setting up, because that's just how we roll. We roll into town, we get as much stuff set up as we possibly can before we fall flat on our backs and pass out. And then the next day we go back, make sure everything's okay, add whatever we forgot to add, make sure everything's good to go, and then the following day start the actual games. Now lacrosse, those were 4 games, and each of those was about, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending, because they had 4 15-minute quarters. Now, with baseball, it's going to be very different. There are roughly, I think there possibly can be 11 games, which I don't know how there can be maybe 11. I'm not going to dive too much into it. I know that there's possibly 11. There could be 10. But there's possibly 11, so you don't discount that 11th one, because that's how you get into trouble. But basically, 11 games, each of these in something like 70-degree heat down in South Carolina. I checked the weather, and each of them being 9 innings conference tournament. They're not gonna forfeit. So yeah, looking forward to it. I'm excited, but also very wary that this is going to be a long week. A long week is certainly not helped by a 6-hour drive both directions. So I'll just leave it at that. If I get cranky, it's not my fault. So I've got everything ready to go. I'm gonna go pack a few more things just to double down on being ready for anything that could get thrown at me, whether that's having to play a Rocket League comp match while there, whether that's having a lot of time to read. And we are kind of near the ocean, so maybe I'll go grab my bathing suit. I don't know. Maybe that's crazy. That's it for this big camera. Everything else for this vlog, other than maybe when I get back, will be recorded on Clyde or the GoPro. So, yeah, I'll see you on the road, as it were. 7.5 hour drive, something like that. We arrived in Charleston, more specifically Mount Pleasant. The games for the tournament are being played at Patriots Point, the baseball park over there. And we are staying in a hotel in Mount Pleasant. It's really nice. I got a room to myself. Everybody got a room to themselves, not just me. I'm not special or anything. But basically, last night we got back to the hotel, ordered some pizza, and then I spent most of the evening, or most of what was left of the evening. We really didn't get in until like 7:30. So it's not like it took me 3.5 hours, but it did take me a decent amount of time to basically build the lower thirds for two teams that are playing. We needed those ready to go. We're here. Today is our first day of work. There's no games today, but we are setting everything up, so that should take a decent amount of the day, if not the entire day, as we're kind of used to at this point. So should be fun. I don't know how much footage I'll be able to snag of us setting up, because it is kind of a running all over the place type thing. And I don't really, again, I've been over this a dozen times. I'm not yet comfortable just wearing a GoPro just like around, just randomly. I don't think anybody would be, but I think that some people get away with it, or that sounds wrong, but it's just like, it works for some people. I personally don't think it really works for me yet. Maybe at some point I'll feel comfortable enough to do that. But yeah, pretty simple. My setup is almost always the same with these type of gigs. Is I have my sling pack that just has kind of all my necessities, chargers, whatever, stuff ready to go for being out and about for the whole day. My camera, my GoPro, all of that ready to go, all the chargers for that type of stuff ready to go. So, should be exciting. I was able to get my Switch set up last night. So, we're still trying to schedule our Rocket League competitive match for this week, which is going to be really difficult to schedule because I'm working a lot, and most of the games, we won't be getting back to the hotel until 10 or 11 at night, and that's pretty late for a Rocket League match. So hopefully we'll be able to do it tomorrow, which would be Wednesday, because that's, there's only, I think, 2 games tomorrow. But we do need to shoot that gap between that and Valorant Wednesday so that David doesn't miss Valorant Wednesday. So, because obviously I will for the last time this month, which is, I believe that's correct. Yeah, it's the last one of the month anyway, so. But I've been busy, so that's about that. Catch all of you later. Good morning, guys. It is, oh geez, what day is it? It's Thursday. So I've been here, this is the third full day that I've been here. So basically, when we got here on Monday, we really didn't do anything. We just showed up, threw down some cables. We didn't even unravel them. We just put them where we were going to run them from, and then got back to the hotel. I think I recorded that getting back to the hotel. I think I recorded something that night. Tuesday, we just basically set up all day, basically from 9 a.m. to, what was it? It was about 4. We ended up coming back here, and then we went out and got dinner. And then yesterday was our first actual day of competition. So we had 2 games that morning. or not that morning, but we had one at noon and then one at 4 p.m. And then we had kind of an early night, so we came back to the hotel. Some people went out. I was really, really tired, so I just kind of stayed in my room and hung out for a bit. And then today we have 3 games. So I'm not going to record any more replay stuff because the time lapse I did yesterday, I checked it, looks good, covers everything. But I think I am going to end up doing some camera work today, so I'm going to save the GoPro battery and storage and all of that good stuff for that because that's different. Because I don't want to just record the same thing over and over again. But depending on how it goes tomorrow, we may or may not do more replay time lapse, so we'll see. Lately, it does feel like rather than having individual weeks in the month of May, it was more so just the month of May and then like days that I worked and days that I didn't work, and that was it. It's a lot. It's a lot to be sure, but thankfully they're taking good care of us with food and drinks and stuff. So I'm gonna go and finish packing up because I gotta get downstairs so I'm not late for the departure back to the baseball park. So I'll talk to all of you later. Good morning. It is early. Well, it's not super early, but it's early for me lately. It's 6:40 right now. We basically got through all 3 games yesterday. No problem, no hitch, nothing. It did get a little bit chilly there towards the end of game 3 just because it was really, really windy. But the weather has kind of shifted here on us, which is unfortunate. So today it looks like there's going to be rain kind of all day, which basically means a lot of things, but primarily when expecting rain, they moved the first game earlier to 9 a.m. instead of 11, which means that we move our call time, or specifically my call time, earlier than 9. So it's now at 7. We're leaving the hotel at 7 and getting there at 7:15. And I gotta be honest, I'm not feeling like fantastic. I don't feel like terrible, but I certainly don't feel 100%. I'm tired. I really haven't had great food to eat. I mean, we've had food, and then I've had a lot of Chick-fil-A. Let me put it that way. Which is never a bad thing, because Chick-fil-A is good. And it's free, so I'm not paying for it. But I certainly don't feel fantastic, and it looks like today's going to be a really long day with rain delays and such. Maybe it won't be. Maybe I'm feeling more pessimistic for some reason today than any other day. So we're just going to work with what we got. I'm, again, quite tired. So I'm going to go finish getting ready to go, and then we will go.
He's going to get this one up in the air. Crossen trying to get under it. That's near the line. And it's off his glove! It's off his glove! Seahawks win it! And the Seahawks have won it! They've walked it off in the most improbable of ways. That pop-up was drifting fair. I knew it was going to be a problem. Off of the bat of Pitara.
The payoff pitch, a chopper back up the middle to the second baseman Wills. The throw to first. They call out North. UNCW storms the field, but time is called. Looks like we're going to have a decision. The call on the field is out. UNCW wins the 2023 CAA Baseball Championship.
Hello, everybody. So it is just after 10. Back in the hotel room. I'm about to start the drive home. It's going to be a long one, but it's going to be worth it because I'm going to be home at the end of it. Game today went really well. Games today went really well. I forgot we played 2. And the ending to the championship was kind of crazy. The last play went under official review, which as the replay operator means that I'm in charge of showing the stuff to not only like the audience, like online watching the stream, but to the actual officials. Like I was in charge of that. They would be in my headset. And they'd be talking to me and they'd be like, forward 1 frame, back 1 frame, that sort of thing. Which was really intense because like up until then it was like, you know, kind of pedestrian stuff, like nothing too big. But this was like legitimately deciding, it was the last out. It was literally deciding who won, or like whether the game would continue. And that's freaking huge. Yeah, I was like, oh, like not like necessarily I decided it, but I was involved in the process of deciding it, which is a far more intense place to be than I normally like. So, but it was really cool. Maybe I'll talk more about it. I'm probably going to record a little bit tomorrow just as a debrief. But I am going to go ahead and hook up the GoPro for a time lapse on the way home. So hopefully you'll see a decent amount of that. I wouldn't be surprised if I drive the whole time. But we'll see. I don't know yet. Theoretically, we're splitting it 50-50, but I have no idea what's going to happen. So hopefully we'll stop at some point to get gas, and I'll grab an energy drink and some snacks, and that'll keep me awake. But until then, I have this couple-day-old pizza that I'm eating, so which is still pretty good, not going to lie. So I'm going to let you go, and I will catch all of you later.